Hi everyone, my name is Abhiraj Garikapati. Welcome to my YouTube channel Amazing Abhay. Episode 7, The Mastermind's Identity, is where the political tension from the Western Council finally turns into direct confirmation that someone is manipulating events from the shadows. The episode begins from the shock of the assassination attempt against Elric during the council meeting. Instead of letting the attack ruin Tempest's position, Rimuru turns the crisis into proof of his composure and authority. This is the key point of the episode. Rimuru is not simply a powerful demon lord who can defeat attackers. He is now acting like a national leader who understands public perception, diplomacy, law and timing. The attack was meant to destabilize the meeting, but Rimuru's response makes Tempest look more reliable, not less. That is why this episode feels satisfying even before the mystery is fully solved. After the failed assassination attempt, Rimuru secures a major political win. The Jira Tempest Federation's membership is accepted. This matters because Tempest's dream is not only about becoming powerful. Rimuru wants humans and monsters to live, trade, and cooperate in the same world without endless fear. Getting accepted into the Western political structure is a huge step toward that dream. But the victory is not clean. Everyone in the room understands that the attack was not random. Someone tried to use the council itself as a stage. That makes the membership approval feel like both a success and a warning. Tempest has entered the political world, but the political world is already full of hidden enemies. The recap should highlight how Rimuru handles the council aftermath. He does not panic and he does not overreact. This is important because his enemies would benefit if he acted like an unpredictable monster. Instead, he behaves with discipline. He protects the situation, allows the political process to continue, and shows the council that Tempest is not the unstable side in the room. That is the clever twist. The people trying to trap him accidentally create a moment where he can prove his legitimacy. For viewers, this scene also shows how much Rimuru has grown since the early days of the series. He is no longer only building friendships and solving local problems. He is playing at the level of international diplomacy. Once Rimuru returns to Tempest, the tone changes from public diplomacy to private investigation. Glenda, the assassin connected to the attack, becomes the center of the episode. This interrogation is one of the most important parts because it gives Rimuru and the audience a clear look behind the curtain. Glenda is dangerous, but she is also not the final boss of this scheme. She is a tool, a clue, and a doorway to the larger mastermind. That is what makes the episode's title work. The question is not just who swung the blade. The question is who arranged the board so that the blade would appear at exactly the right political moment. Before we move ahead, please take a second to like on this video. A like tells me that you enjoyed this topic. Your support helps Amazing Abhay grow naturally. The interrogation scene also lets Tempest's inner circle shine. Rimuru's allies are not just powerful bodyguards. They are part of an intelligence machine now. Diablo, Benimaru, Sawe, Shin, Shuna, and the others each represent a different kind of pressure. Some can intimidate, some can observe, some can read details that normal people would miss. This gives the scene a strong feeling of control. Glenda is not being questioned by a random group of adventurers. She is standing before the leadership of a nation that has learned how to survive betrayal, war, assassination, and manipulation. That makes her situation feel serious even without a long fight. The reveal begins to point toward the Rosso family, especially Granbell and Mariabelle, as the deeper force behind the political manipulation. This is where Season 4 main conflict becomes sharper. These are not simple villains who attack because they hate monsters for no reason. Their ideology is more dangerous because it is wrapped in the language of protecting humanity. They believe humans must be controlled in order to be protected. That makes them ideological enemies of Rimuru's dream. Rimuru wants coexistence through trust and cooperation. The Rosso side wants order through domination. Episode 7 makes that clash easier to understand. Mariabelle stands out because she feels different from the usual physical threat. She is dangerous because she thinks in systems. She understands money, politics, institutions, fear, and desire. She does not need to personally fight Rimuru to become dangerous. She can influence people, place agents, exploit greed, and turn human society's weaknesses against itself. That is why the episode's mystery matters. The mastermind is not just someone hiding behind a curtain. The mastermind is someone who understands how to make other people move without realizing they are being used. This gives Season 4 a more strategic flavor compared to arcs focused on battlefield power. Rimuru reaction to the reveal is controlled, but you can feel the danger rising. He now has a clearer idea that Tempest is not dealing with a single incident. The assassination attempt, the council pressure, the hostility toward Tempest, and the movements behind the scenes are all connected. This is the episode where scattered clues begin to form a pattern. For storytelling, that is very useful because it moves the season from confusion into direction. Rimuru knows that someone is trying to block the human-monster coexistence sphere before it becomes real. The fight is no longer only about surviving one council meeting. It is about stopping a larger plan before it grows too strong. Before we move ahead, please take a second to share on this video. Sharing helps this video reach friends who may also enjoy anime, gaming, travel, cricket, chess, career basics, or personal stories. Your support helps Amazing Abhi grow naturally. As a review, Episode 7 works best as a mystery and aftermath episode. It may not be the most action-heavy chapter, but it is very important for the season's political storyline. The strongest parts are Rimuru turning the failed assassination into a diplomatic advantage, Tempest interrogating Glenda, and the story pointing toward the real players behind the scenes. The episode's weakness is that viewers who prefer fast battles may feel the pacing is slower. But for fans who enjoy the world-building side of Tenshura, this is exactly the kind of episode that makes the world feel bigger. It shows that every public victory has a hidden cost, and every new alliance creates new enemies. The mood after Episode 7 is not pure victory. Tempest has gained recognition, but Rimuru is now entering a more dangerous kind of conflict. He is not only defending his people from monsters, armies, or dungeon threats. He is defending the idea of Tempest itself. If his enemies can convince humanity that Tempest is unsafe, then Rimuru's dream can be damaged even without a battlefield defeat. That is the scary part. Political enemies can attack reputation, trust, and future alliances. Episode 7 quietly teaches the audience that nation-building has enemies that a sword cannot simply cut down. The episode also sets up the next phase by making Rimuru's choices more complicated. Now that the mastermind's direction is becoming visible, Rimuru has to decide how to act without falling into another trap. If he moves too aggressively, enemies can call him a tyrant. If he waits too long, Maribel and the Rosso network may strengthen their influence. This is why the next episode should become more exciting. The battle is shifting from council chambers to investigation, hidden influence, and direct confrontation with greed. The story is preparing to test whether Rimuru can defeat an enemy who attacks through politics and manipulation rather than open war. Final verdict. Episode 7 is a strong turning point episode for Season 4. It confirms Tempest's political progress, exposes the assassination attempt as part of a larger scheme, and pushes Rimuru closer to the real enemy behind the Western conflict. The episode is not about spectacle first. It is about information, control, and consequences. For a recap video, the best closing line is this: Rimuru won the council battle, but the real war is only beginning. The mastermind has stepped out of the shadows just enough for the audience to understand the threat, and now Tempest must prove that its dream of human-monster coexistence can survive not only violence, but also manipulation, greed, and political. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to Amazing Abhi. Subscribing makes sure you do not miss the next video, and it gives me motivation to keep improving the quality of every upload. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.